Hi everyone, Evie here, the Greek Goddess of Great Reading. Today I will be reviewing Snowflower and the Secret Fan by Lisa C. In 19th century China, in a remote Hunan county, a girl named Lily at the tender age of 7 is paired with a laotong, or old same, in an emotional match that will last a lifetime. Laotong, Snowflower, introduces herself by sending Lily a silk fan on which she has written a poem in Nushu, a unique language that Chinese women created in order to communicate in secret, away from the influence of men. As the years pass, Lily and Snowflower send messages on the fan and compose stories on handkerchiefs, reaching out of isolation to share their hopes, dreams, and accomplishments. They both endure the agony of footbinding and together reflect upon their arranged marriages, shared loneliness, and the joys and tragedies of motherhood. The two find solace, developing a bond that keeps their spirits alive. But when a misunderstanding arises, their deep friendship suddenly threatens to tear apart. This book was absolutely wonderful, and my sister Lily, who I did give this book to for a few Christmases ago, wanted me to give her a shout out because she let me read this book on this trip to Greece because I was getting bored with the books on my Kindle, and I really enjoyed it. So there you go, Lily. Shout out to you. But this book was a joy to read. I really like the relationship that develops between Lily and Snowflower. It's nothing like a friendship you would expect in North America. I've never heard of something like this. In China, they used to have, before the marriage and after the marriage, a sort of lifelong sisterhoods that they would create with other women of the same villages as them. And these would always be different women because before marriage, you are in your village, but then after marriage, you go away and you really never return to your own village except at celebrations and festivals. So you really do have to have that sort of sisterhood, that friendship with other women, because these poor women have to go away and not be with their families anymore, and it's quite lonely. So it really helps them to not be so depressed by having these women in their lives. But a laotong is different because they are friends for their entire lives, supposedly. That is how the relationship works. And it's kind of originally supposed to be something almost like a marriage match. A matchmaker arranges it, and they put these two girls together based on characteristics and having all these great similarities. And Lily and Snowflower have a lot of similarities, so they are paired together, and they are sort of supposed to help each other indirectly by rising up in society, because Lily is from kind of a poor family and county, and she is able to rise up with Snowflower's help, and Snowflower is able to learn from Lily as well because she is from high society, but she is able to learn the sort of household duties of a woman in 19th century China, like cleaning and cooking, weaving and sewing, and all these sort of things that women are supposed to do in the household. I know it is 19th century China, and even nowadays in China, women are still kind of not treated this way, but treated differently, very differently from men. But it's still, some of the stuff that these poor girls have to endure, it was just heartbreaking to read about. The foot binding especially was horrific to picture in my mind, and I've seen pictures of foot binding, so reading about this process and the pain that these girls have to endure at the age of 6 or 7, they start doing this process, and Lily goes through it with her cousin, Beautiful Moon, and her younger sister, and there's some tragic events that can occur with foot binding. If you don't do it right, bad things can happen. All in all, it's just really interesting to read about, but again, really tragic. The Nushu, also, the writing that Snowflower and Lily communicate, it is women's writing. So because women never learn how, back then never learned how to write men's writing, so they kind of created their own writing in order to communicate secretly with each other without the influence of men. So that's how Lily and Snowflower communicate. Their parents teach them how to. And throughout the novel, this writing is very prominent in giving these women a voice, because throughout the rest of their lives they don't really have much of a voice. Snowflower and Lily over and over again, but especially Lily, says to Snowflower through their marriage days that they are worthless unless they can provide their husband and their families with sons, with heirs. Otherwise, a woman is worthless. A woman is worthless. They repeat these over and over and over again, and it's so disheartening. I don't know how these women didn't get extremely depressed throughout their lives by just feeling so useless, and if their families didn't want them, and then their in-law families didn't want them unless they bore sons. And it's just really hard for them, but writing this new shoe gives them a voice that they so desperately need and want. There's a quote in the book that I really like that kind of brings Lily to the realization of what the new shoe writing is actually for and what the purpose of it is in their lives, and I would like to read it to you now. With her bold act, I realized the true purpose of our secret writing. It was not to compose girlish notes to each other or even to introduce us to the women in our husbands' families. It was to give us a voice. Our new shoe was a means for our bound feet to carry us to each other, for our thoughts to fly across the fields as Snowflower had written. The men in our households never expected us to have anything important to say. They never expected us to have emotions or express creative thoughts. The women, our mothers-in-law and the others, put even greater blockades against us. But from here on out, I hope Snowflower and I would be able to write the truth of our lives, where we were together or apart. So with that being said, I highly recommend that you pick up Snowflower and the Secret Fan by Lisa C. at a bookstore near you. There was also a movie adaptation made. I have not watched it yet, but I think now I will, considering how much I enjoyed the book. I hope that the movie does it justice. I don't know if you guys have noticed recently, but I've been putting some music in my videos, and if you watch it all the way to the end for the credits, you'll know that the music is by my friend Lenny Papadopoulos. And if you like his music, I'm going to link his SoundCloud page in the description below, along with my Twitter and bio. If you guys have read Snowflower and the Secret Fan by Lisa C., let me know what you thought about the book in the comments below. Hit subscribe if you guys like what you see and want to see more by me. If you guys have any recommendations again for books that you would like me to review, let me know and I will get right on reading them. I'm Evie, the Greek goddess of great reading, and until next time guys, keep reading.